Hey, so this is my video that I'm super excited about to promote the guest appearance by my very good friend Helene Dunbar at our final class. And so she's a huge U2 fan, so I wanted to start the video with a little U2. That's New Year's Day from U2's 1983 album War, over which surely we bonded in college. I'm also wearing my Detroit Tigers hat see, it's got the Detroit Tigers logo here, with Detroit in Hebrew, because though she might, well, I don't know if she is a practice. We'll have to ask her if she's a practicing Jew. But she is a practicing Jew who likes Christmas trees. So, I don't know. But she is Jewish, which was another thing over which we bonded, because I felt a strong affinity for the Jewish religion for a lot of years. Anyway, so I don't know if that's here nor there. But I'm super excited about this. And so this is just like a short promo video to kind of talk about Helene. And oh yeah, I got her books. And I'm probably gonna have to pause the video because I forgot something. So that's not good. So hold on. Okay, so I was actually going to wear the hat throughout the entire video because I have a lot of air swirling around in the office because of the heat, and my hair is. Next time you'll see me, I'll have a haircut, but my hair is a little unruly. What I'd like to do is kind of go through what I hope you already saw, which is sharing on the computer and sites that Helene has on the internet, and then tell you a bit about her books, which I actually happen to have right here. All of them, because, not only am I a fan, but she's my very good friend. So here I'd like to share my computer screen once again, and I was just thrilled to be able to find this cover, this autographed cover of U2's War, as Helene is a huge U2 fan, much bigger than I, though I really like them. So here's HeleneDunbar.com. I'll give you this stuff in my announcement, and pictures of her books. We Are Lost and Found, which is probably her best book, though the others are very good. I would argue that this is her best by a fair margin. Prelude for Lost Souls is her new book, so jury is out on whether that will surpass We Are Lost and Found. But like I said, they're all very good. These are Gentle Wounds, What Remains, and Boomerang. Apparently she has a story or something in this. I didn't know about that, but this might have to do with a story she wrote about adopting her daughter Kira. So here's a great little bio that she has on her site, plus a picture. Apparently she's been called the Queen of Heartbreaking Prose by Paste Magazine, which is not only a very well-known magazine, but a very wonderful, a very wonderful a bit of praise. And We Are Lost and Found has been optioned for film by the guy that played Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, but you see it there. And then Prelude for Lost Souls just came out, so I just started reading it. And it also notes here that for years, Helene worked as drama critic and a journalist. She actually wrote reviews of Irish music in and around New York, but also over in England, in the United Kingdom in general, where she lived for a while. It says that here, traditional Irish music, court cases, theater. She lives in Nashville with her husband and her daughter. And her story is just amazing, but I won't tell it all here. Who knows if I will share all of it when we have her in our class. So this is her Instagram, if you care. It's linked from her other page, but like here she's signed copies of her new book, which is really cool. you know, and the book is ghost stories. So some of the promotion, do you believe in ghosts, etc. She's on Goodreads, which I use quite a bit. If you want to link up with me after the semester, or just right now, you know, let me just see. A lot of my things are if they're not Chris Tower, they're GMR Studios. This doesn't necessarily tell me. You could always ask me. I'm not gonna let that spin, but it's one or the other. I think on here I'm Christopher Tower. Yep, looks like. So you can follow her. I just realized I wasn't following her, so I'm ashamed. So I added that. This is her Facebook page, where she interacts with a lot of fans and does giveaways and different things. So those things, right? So that's all fantastic. Let me tell you a little about her books. So These Gentle Wounds was her first book, 2014. And I'm almost tempted to read the cover stuff on the back, but I won't, And so this is the story of, because she's the queen of heartbreaking prose, right? So this is a story of Gordy, who's living with his half-brother Kevin, and things seem to be getting on track until his biological father comes back into his life, and then everything goes into a tailspin. That might not sell it as well as the book actually is, and so maybe I'll work up some better introductions for our class and read a little of the prose. So then what remains is 2015. She basically sold these at the same time. And this is the story about a young guy named Cal who loves baseball, and his best friend Lizzie, who dies, and his heart is damaged and he gets a replacement. And then he starts to hear a voice in his head. And you can imagine, you could probably guess why. He bears an overwhelming sense of guilt that Lizzie's death was his fault. And it's this beautiful book. It's beautiful. Then Boomerang, and I didn't look at the date on this one, so I'm going to try to do that quickly. And this is the first one that came out hardback first, 2018. And I think she switched companies here. So this is a different company. This is a story about a kid that ran away and has been living this life elsewhere under another name, and then he comes back to the town where he had originally lived. And again, it's just, her prose is just so on, and the stories are so beautiful and beautifully written. In this one, someone compared her to John Green and Rainbow Rowell, which are just great recommendations, just great comparisons. But for me, and this is purely personal preference, so some people may argue with me, and Helene herself may argue with me. As part of our friendship, we used to argue all the time, but We Are Lost and Found, I think, is her best book. And it came out last year, so 2019. And it really is a book that is set in the 80s and focuses on the AIDS crisis, focuses on the time in which AIDS was starting to be known as a very deadly disease, and known also, of course, as the gay plague. And so it's just a really, really fantastic book. And one of the things that I think makes it so fantastic, she's really growing as a writer and doing her research and everything, but she has these afterwords. I thought I could get this answer quickly, but I can't. But she has these afterwords written by these amazing individuals, and I was hoping that there'd be something in here that I could share with you. I suck. I know one was written by yeah, here we go. ACT UP activist Ron Goldberg wrote one of them. and then there's another one written by somebody else that is part of AIDS and gay activism. And those essays just really cap off what is just an amazingly beautiful book. And so it's no surprise that it's been optioned for a film. I really, really hope it gets made. Now, lots of things get optioned that don't necessarily go all the way through to fruition and complete production. A lot of things fail in the production cycle, but I hope this is not one of them because it's so deserving, even if Helene wasn't my friend. And then Prelude for Lost Souls is a ghost story, and it's set in Lilydale, New York, which is the name of a song by one of my favorite bands, 10,000 Maniacs. And so far, so good. You know, every town has a story. This town has a ghost story. Anyway, Helene is going to be at our class. It's our last class. It's Wednesday of this week, August the 26th at 5 p.m. our Pacific time. She's going to talk about getting an agent. She has a very interesting story about how she got an agent. She's going to talk about writing and finishing novels. She's going to talk about online writing communities that can support you if you're writing a novel. She'll talk about marketing her book, books, and all those things. I told her half an hour. I suspect it'll go longer, but I told her that you know, she only needs to be with us for half an hour. She's very busy. So I hope you'll attend. I'm very, very thrilled to have Helene Dunbar, because even if she wasn't my friend, I would be thrilled to have a novel of her inestimable ability to join us. So here we go with the outro. Thank you for tuning in. All right.